Welcome to coverage of round 13 here at GP Atlanta. Maria Bartholdi in the booth, joined by Marshall Sutcliffe, Noah Walker there on the left side of your screen versus Stephen Neal on the right.
So we've got quite a matchup here, Maria. We've got Noah Walker playing a pretty straightforward red-green beatdown deck against Stephen Neal, who is playing anything but straightforward.
No.
He's on 10 islands, 4 swamps, and a mountain in this deck. He's also got an ether hub. But the key here that we're going to be looking out for in the card that we hope to see from Neal is one of his 2 copies of Panharmonicon.
We've got an Architect of the Untamed from Noah, so he's already applying some pressure there. That card can gain him energy whenever a land enters play under his control. He can pay 8 to make a 6/6 beast. Stephen, meanwhile, has got all of his colors and a couple of, I don't know, it looked like there's Prophetic Prisms in his hand.
Looks like he's just going to decide to use his mana in the most mana-efficient way possible and either cast a spell, whatever it may be, or just crack that Metal Spinner's puzzle knot.
Spontaneous Artist, the play from Noah, gets an energy and gives it haste. Also gets an energy off the Architect of the Untamed.
From the land
From
drop.
the land.
Mm-hmm. That could be a big problem for Steven. If he has a way to kill the Spontaneous Artist, he's going to do it immediately.
He does on Licensed Disintegration.
So he's going to use his best removal spell to take it down. But you can see, even then, he decided to kill the Spontaneous Artist rather than the rare.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And it makes good sense, though. I can totally see his argument there, because the Spontaneous Artist plus a steady stream of energy means that he's going to be under immense pressure for the rest of the game, and he just couldn't let that thing survive.
So the Architect of the Untamed attacks into a Dakara P-Foul. Fire Forger's Puzzle Knot will deal the final damage to the P-Foul past the turn back.
Yeah, the only downside for Noah is that it took his entire turn worth of mana to do that.
Yeah. Stephen Neal, Prophetic Prism, playing a Contraband Kingpin, 1/4 with lifelink. When you play an artifact, you get to scry 1. So now Noah's left with just the Architect of the Untamed on the battlefield, which is not nothing. Stephen blocks it.
Gains life.
Gains a life. Weld Fast Monitor is the play from Noah.
So a little bit of a misstep there, perhaps, from Noah. He attacked, as more of a bluff, it looks like.
Right.
Got called, but unfortunately the call here isn't free. It actually gains Steven a life, and that does matter sometimes. So
another Prophetic Prism is the play. Unfortunately, no Panharmonicons on the battlefield yet to really make those filthy.
Make those into divinations. He did get to scry first. He can stack the triggers how he chooses, since they both go on the stack at the same time. And he chose to put the card on top.
Wordler Virtuoso. Nice.
This could get interesting.
This card is one of my favorites in the set.
Steven's deck is so sweet. It is just so sweet.
It's a 2/3, and you get 3 energy when it enters the battlefield. You can pay 3 energy at any time to make a 1/1 Thopter. Just fantastic.
Great flavor text.
The first tentative flaps are like a song to his soul. That's poetry. That's poetry, Marshall.
Yeah, somebody wrote that.
So Noah, probably not the start he was hoping for, at least at not this point in the game. He is able to give his Willed Fast Monitor Menace for a single red, but against a 1/4 and a 2/3,
Kind of bummed that we haven't seen the Panharmonicon here from Steven. It's the further that goes into the game, it tends to get a little worse.
He just has to pass the turn back. Stephen is going to play Underhanded Designs.
God, Steven's deck.
Wow.
I almost feel bad for Noah, just because if I'm looking at the other side of the table, I'm like, your deck is so much sweeter than mine.
You're like, I just played a fair deck.
Yeah.
Aww. Underhanded Designs is really cool because whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, you can pay 1 to basically gain 1 and drain your opponent for 1. And then once you have 2 or more artifacts, which he does, you can pay 1 and a black to destroy target creature.
Now, one interesting thing that is happening on Noah's side is that he is up to 5 energy now. So he's just 1 away from being able to make a beast, right?
Yeah, but it takes 8.
Is it 8? God. All right, so he's 3 away?
Yeah.
Brutal.
Steven's going to sacrifice his puzzle knot to draw some more cards.
He does need to find a little action. You know, he's done a good job of stabilizing the board, and he even can start chipping away with the Thopter if he wants, but he wants to do some explosive value shenanigans here rather than just this little chipping away at this point in the game. What do you got, Steven?
Taps 4. There it is. Panharmonicon.
Uh-oh.
Let's get this thing rolling. Scry. Off of the Contraband Kingpin.
And he's going to
Scry twice. Yep.
The underhanded designs triggers twice now.
Oh, that's sweet. He's going to attack for 1.
The question is just, does he have anything to capitalize on the Panharmonicon at this point? Or was
He's
that the
already
big
played
finish?
it all. Yeah.
He's like, what did you want from me? I played it.
Oh, Panharmonicon. Noah's going to give the Weldfast Monitor Menace and swing in.
He's looking to trade off for the Whirler Virtuoso.
Yeah,
here.
I think so.
Steven may be looking at his hand and thinking, well, I'm not really going to make any energy for a while, so, you know, I'd rather just keep my life total up, and losing a 2-3 at this point is not really that big of a deal.
Oh, Steven.
Might have a removal spell here.
Subtle strike.
Uh-huh.
Giving a +1/+1 counter to the Contraband Kingpin and shrinking that Weldfest Monitor. Noah's follow-up play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Furious Reprisal.
Right, and this is something that Steven will have expected, at least in some part. Maybe not that specific card, but some type of burn spell there.
Noah's up to 6 energy.
So he needs 2 more.
2 more.
Unfortunately for Noah, he hasn't found a way to get any energy outside of just making his land drops, and he's made a few too many of those for his liking. He's up to 9.
Nimble Innovator. Draw 2.
Oh, God.
Feels great.
That's just the beginning. Yeah, sometimes you don't get a Cloud Blazer, you know.
Just make your own.
Build your own Cloud Blazer.
Ether Theorist is going to get 6 mana. I mean 6 energy, sorry. And attack with the Contraband Kingpin. A little sad that his Whirler Virtuoso had to die. Could have made great use of that 6 energy.
He really could have, especially with the underhanded designs out.
Oh, yeah.
He could have got 4 triggers off of it and made 2 Thopters.
Underhanded Designs, just a really interesting card because you can cash it in as soon as you have 2 artifacts to destroy something, or you could just leave it around to keep gaining life and draining your opponent for 1.
We may see him cash it in before the beast appears if he doesn't have an answer for it.
Yeah, Noah up to 7 energy.
Yeah, Noah's flooding out really hard here too,
He is.
and he doesn't have any, you know, filtering of any type in his deck.
Ether Theorist, more energy. Just 12 energy, no big
You
deal.
know, just the 12s. But you're right. If he had that Whirler Virtuoso, it would look much better for him.
It'd be so sweet right now.
Yeah.
Okay, Renegade Tactics is going to make the Ether Theorist not able to block. More importantly, he gets to draw a card off of it. Playing a Speedway Fanatic, 2-1 with haste.
He is offering to trade, though.
Yep. Trades for a Nimble Innovator. Follow-up play is a Spireside Infiltrator.
Yeah, I mean, I respect him for trying to get in for damage here. The problem is that Steven has a lot of life total to play with at 23. And he's fully incentivized to have this game go just as long as possible, and he's doing a very good job of making that happen.
Yeah, just gaining life every turn there with the
Yeah,
Kingpin.
Now he's up to 25.
Noah, I mean, even a land's not a dead draw for him at this point. Because he will be able to make that beast.
Steven double blocked with both Ether Theorists.
Going to scry before 1 goes to the graveyard. Another Weldfast Monitor.
Oop, kept that
Kept
one on
that
top.
on top.
What could it be?
maybe another Panharmonicon.
Could be.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, ambitious automaton. Accomplished automaton, sorry.
Accomplished automaton. I guess he's just going to get
Sure.
a couple of extra servos with it.
Servos and draining Noah for more life, thanks to the
Mhm.
underhanded designs.
Reminds me of Extort.
Yeah, it does. Extort was a fantastic deck to play back in the day.
It was a real grind fest, that one. And that's what we got going on here, too. You got a feel for Noah, though. He's flooded out pretty hard here, never really put up much of a fight. And Steven's deck takes just forever to actually win, so he's just got to sit here and watch Steven do all this fun stuff.
Servant of the Conduit is a play.
Well, that
Oh,
does
there you
get him up
go.
to 8. Even 9, but
9 energy.
yeah.
A 6/6 beast may be on the way. Steven's going to play a copy of his Glintnest Crane. I believe he has 2.
He gets to double trigger this.
Search for everything he could possibly
Oh, no,
want.
there's the other one.
Oh!
There's the other one.
Here comes Panharmonicon number 2. And here we go again. See what he finds. Prophetic Prism. Draw some more cards.
That's going to draw him 2 cards. Oh, he's going to play the
He's
other.
going to play the other
Does he have enough
Harmonicon
mana
first.
to do both? Oh, he certainly does.
Oh my gosh.
What a maniac. Who is this guy?
You know, R&D said they deliberately made this set so people could build cool things, invent cool decks, as it were, and do really busted stuff. And
Well, they hit here, didn't they?
we are seeing it happen. There comes Panharmonicon number 2.
Now he gets to draw 3 cards.
Wow. Oh, he's going to drain as well.
He might wait then. He drained off of the Panharmonicon. He does have enough mana to just cast a Prophetic Prism, but if he waits, he can get multiple drains as well. Which is probably good enough to win the game.
No, it makes a beast.
Yeah, he's going to be patient here.
No, Noah's seen enough. Stephen Neal takes down the first game.
Good God.
Wow, what a deck.
Look at that smile.
Stephen Neal.
He's like, this is sweet. You know, I want to remind you, by the way, he's 11-1 at the GP as well.
Incredible.
Like, this is the draft that could put him into top 8. Like, this
Yeah.
isn't the fun, like, oh, I don't have nothing to lose
Yeah.
draft. I'll just try out some stuff. Like, Steven knows exactly what he wants to do. You can tell he's got experience with this archetype, and he went all in on it, and it's working out. He's already up a game.
All right, we're going to take a quick look here at Chris Pikula versus Eduardo dos Santos Vieira. Looks like we're seeing a Nature's Way in action as Eduardo attacks with the Sage of Shala's Claim and Spontaneous Artist, getting Vigilance from Nature's Way.
Chris Pikula.
Back
10
on
and
the
2.
ballot.
Yeah, and 10-2. Fight. Needs to 3-0 this draft.
Attacking with his Pricata Pillar Bug. Gonna give it lifelink. Gain 2 life.
For those of you that watch Enter the Battlefield, the documentary about life on the Magic the Gathering Pro Tour, Chris was a big part of that.
Yeah, fantastic story. Check it out on Netflix if you haven't seen it already. Unlicensed Disintegration takes down the Spontaneous Artist and also deals 3 damage to Eduardo because Chris controls an artifact. Eduardo playing 3 colors as well, passes the turn back. Here comes the Pillar Bug. Eduardo blocking it and returning it to his hand with Decoction Module. Maul Fist Doorbuster.
Knock, knock.
Too late.
Chris does not get to gain any life from that pillar bug either because the creature was returned, so it's just not going to actually deal any damage.
Oh, interesting. The Sage will come back down, garnering Eduardo 3 more energy. And another additional energy from the decoction module. So we'll see if, yep, indeed, Chris is going to use an energy to, oh, his own copy of Unlicensed Disintegration.
Everybody's got one.
He's going to give the Pillar Bug lifelink. Oprah must have had a show. You get Unlicensed Disintegration. You get Unlicensed Disintegration. And another Pillar Bug for Pikula. Eduardo draws return. Has some action in hand. Pikula could be on the red-black artifact aggro deck we talked about earlier.
Yeah, it does look like that's what he's trying to do. He's got that Metal Spinner's Puzzle Knot sitting there at the ready to give him another card back. And he really would love to find another threat. Right now, you know, Pillar Bug aggro is just a little slow for what he's trying to do. The Malfist Doorbuster would have been a nice addition and really helped him power
You know what
through for a lot
Eduardo's
of
holding in
damage.
his hand?
What?
Chandra.
What?
Yeah.
He can't cast her, though, can he?
He can't.
No double red. Oh, my goodness.
Oh. All right, well, he doesn't appear to be able to cast her quite yet. So we're going to head back over to our main match.
Okay.
We'll check on this match later. Noah Walker and Stephen Neal. Ether Theorist down for Stephen Neal versus a Servant of the Conduit for Noah.
It's a nice one for Noah.
Yeah. Both players kind of starting the game how they want to. Ornamental Courage takes down the Ether Theorist.
Yeah, that's really interesting, too. That sequence was really cool. So Noah attacked. Steven blocked with this Ether Theorist, which Noah, you know, he's only mildly concerned about the Theorist itself. But since he happened to use Ornamental Courage as his combat trick, it actually untapped the Conduit, which let him tap it for mana and still play a 3 that turn, which
that was really
worked
neat.
out really good for him.
Salivating Gremlins is the attack from Noah. Going to use his creature for mana to play a Pima Outrider.
Jeez, now there's a curve.
There you go.
That is a curve right there. Now this is a real test for Stephen Neal's deck because taking a turn off here to play Panharmonicon like he's doing can really come back to bite him if, you know, because Noah's capable of dealing a ton of damage this turn.
Oh, Speedway Fanatic.
Like so.
Bash.
That's 8 damage that Steven took after having played that Panharmonicon. So the big question here is, can Steven now start abusing that card with Enters the Battlefield triggers to get back that life and that card and that time, right? That tempo that he lost by playing it. Because it's a big cost what he just paid. And it's the kind of thing where, you know, if he plays some big creature here and Noah has a way to get it out of the way even temporarily, the game could just be over. But if Steven can really take advantage of that Panharmonicon, like drawing, this isn't it, right? Like this is good. I mean, drawing extra cards is good with his Prism, but he needs a blocker or a removal spell or some way to stem the bleeding here because he's scheduled to take another 8 minimum, and with an artifact, it could be a lethal attack from Noah.
Yeah, that Pima Outrider is no joke.
Yeah, it looks like Steven agrees with you, Maria.
Unlicensed Disintegration to deal 3 and destroy it.
Well, Steven's still up against it here, though, taking at least 4 this turn. Oh, cancel that. Make it 6.
Yep. dropping Steven down to 4. Still up against it here. We're seeing a good example of how Noah's deck can take advantage of just kind of beating down, even on 3 mana. Nimble Innovator, draw some cards. Give Steven a blocker. Contraband Kingpin, the follow-up. Removal.
And do 2 to you.
Yep.
It's going to be game.
That'll do it. There we go. All
Yeah.
tied up, 1-1.
Yeah, this is a real case study here, right? Because, this reminds me of the match that we watched earlier with Cedric versus Sam.
Right.
Where we've got a very traditional streamlined beatdown deck playing against a very non-traditional, Kaladesh-specific kind of cool deck, right? And these are the two types of decks that you and I have been chatting about all day, Maria, about the decks that are sort of emerging in the format. It's either you want to be this crazy double Panharmonicon deck or you want to be what Noah's running here. And it hasn't really been made clear if one is specifically better than the other. It's going to depend a lot on which crazy deck you have. Is it an energy deck with the modules? Is it this Panharmonicon stuff? Is it blinking Cloud Blazers? There's a lot of different directions to go. But so far in games 1 and 2, we saw both decks do what they were trying to do. And, we saw the aggro deck kind of flood out a little bit there and just not have enough punch and just get completely wrecked in the mid to late game. Not having the same power level of effects. But then on that game, we saw, look, he cast spells every turn.
He did.
Stephen Neal. That wasn't like him just getting mana screwed and losing. He played cards. They just didn't do anything. And Noah was able to punish him. I'm really curious to see how game 3 goes, to see which one of them is going to be able to take over.
We're going to take a look here at Joshua Cho versus Thien Nguyen. See a couple of artifacts on the battlefield on the right side of your screen. We've got a Chief the Foundry and an Ire League Steed versus some Thriving Rats for Joshua. Both players sitting at 10-2 here in round 13. So every match extremely important. Joshua's going to go on the tank a little bit here. Passes the turn back. Hijack. Let me take your rats, please, is the play.
Just borrow them.
Just for a turn. Hijack, a card you really want to be playing in an aggressive deck. Doesn't look so good when you're on defense. Ooh, interesting. Incendiary Sabotage, sacrificing the Fireforger's Puzzle Knot, will deal 3 to everything.
Wow, that was big.
That was a big hit. He's still going to get in there with those rats and play a Built-to-Smash on it. Must have had the life totals plopped.
Yeah, that was not 14 that he just did there,
No.
but it was lethal.
It was.
So they could have just been flopped.
So Nguyen's going to take the win there. Built-to-Smash, we're seeing do some work there.
Wow, man, he had a great play set up, had it completely disrupted, and just won anyway.
Right.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, managed to turn it to his advantage, despite getting 2 for 1.
It's funny. I think I still would rather be on Noah Walker's side of this equation at this point in the format. We'll really get to know these decks, the Panharmonicons, the energy decks, the blinking and that kind of stuff, a lot better as we go. But for now, there's still some kinks to be worked out with those type of decks. And I'll tell you what, Noah's deck looks good. I mean, he's just thumping here.
He's got 2 of the 3 creatures you just really, really want, including the rare Architect of the Untamed, Servant of the Conduit, and here comes Pima Outrider. I mean,
Turn 3 Pima Outrider.
Stephen Neal not able to activate.
And here we go again. He's taking a turn off for
Panharmonicon.
Panharmonicon. Now, the difference here, Maria, is that he's on the play.
Okay.
And, this is a huge gap. I mean, this is how close these decks are, is that in the last game when he took a turn off to play Panharmonicon and then followed it up with a Prism, it wasn't good enough.
Demolished takes down the Panharmonicon.
Noah Walker, everybody.
Oh, sideboard tech.
That is savage. I love that sideboard plan from Walker.
Yeah, take down his game plan.
And in the rare instances where Stephen doesn't have a Panharmonicon on the battlefield, he is stretching his mana to 3 colors. And you could pick off a mountain or something and turn off a removal spell from Stephen. That's legit.
Yeah. The look on the face of that gremlin in that photo is just the classic. If you've ever had a pet who's ever accidentally knocked over something or made a mess, that's the look on their face right there.
Yeah, or a significant other.
Is your girlfriend running around knocking over your faces, Marshall? I'm sorry.
Sometimes. Yeah, I meant me. But
Oh, okay. Well, there's another one.
Drain ya. But this is not going to work out well for Stephen unless he can really crunch in with something great next turn.
Well, in hand, he seems to have a Prophetic Prism. A Speedway Fanatic from Noah.
And look at these beatdowns.
Ouch.
4, 8,
5.
10.
Yep.
You're at 5, Stephen. Giant Spectacle.
Oh, yeah, Giant Spectacle. +2/+1 and Menace on that Speedway Fanatic. Stephen's going to draw a card off of, or draw 2 rather, off of Prophetic Prism.
He's also going to get 2 triggers from the underhanded designs, though it's unclear if he wants to actually pay for both. I think he's only going to pay for 1. Which makes sense because he needs to do something here.
He does.
Looks like he's going to blow something up. No.
Oh, Whirler Virtuoso. Gets 6 energy.
Now things are getting interesting. That's effectively 2 1/1 flyers. Now, are they good enough? They may not be.
They may not be. Pima Outrider has Trample, and Menace has a Speedway Fanatic.
Yeah. Well, strike that, reverse it, but yeah.
Right. All right, he's going to make 2 Thopters.
Okay. These are the obvious blocks. Any pump spell wins the game. Any burn spell wins the game. Oh, and he showed him Furious
Reprisal. That does it. Noah Walker takes it down in 3 games here in round 13, advances to 12-1.
Much to the chagrin of our chat.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But still, I have to say, I really do like the way that Noah approached this. And,
Yep.
and I do like his deck a lot against these type of decks.
Well, Stephen Neal just has to laugh. He says, I drafted the dream, and you know what? Sometimes the dream doesn't work out. That's going to do it for round 13 here at Grand Prix Atlanta.
Optimism, innovation, and the spirit of creativity fill these pages, lavishly illustrated with the award-winning art of Magic the Gathering. Welcome to Kaladesh, a vibrant, beautiful plane where anything is possible. Join the heroic planeswalkers of the Gatewatch as they explore the Inventor's Fair and let your imagination soar alongside Thopters and airships, crafted by the best artificers in the multiverse. Kaladesh is now available on Magic Duels. Build endless deck combinations with more than 1,000 unique cards. Play through hours of story with 50 campaign missions. Play Magic Duels free today on Xbox One, Steam, iPad, and iPhone.